Hi friends, welcome back to the Wildflower and Twine Kitchen. Today I'm going to share a really great way to use up all of those little bits and pieces from the garden that you just don't know what to do with. Whether you have some late season cabbages that didn't quite form heads and you don't want them to go to seed, or maybe you have an abundance of leafy greens that you don't want to go to waste. With this recipe you can take all of those things plus anything else you want to clean up in the garden and turn it into the most delicious, gut-friendly garden kraut. So once you've been out and collected yourself a nice little basket of goodies, bring them inside and give them a wash just to remove any dirt or any buggy things. And gather up a few extra herbs and spices that you might not have in the garden, like a bay leaf, some salt, pepper, and some turmeric if possible. Now that you've got everything washed and dried, start individually chopping up your vegetables. I like to do a mixture of shredding things like your cabbage leaves and spinach leaves and stuff, and then my other vegetables like little carrots and things I like to do a bit more chunkier just to give the finished product a bit more texture. And while you're chopping, just give everything a little bit of a once over and tidy up any things that it might have spoiled or browned on the edges. You can see here how roughly I've chopped the carrots because it just keeps things interesting with the finished product. And as long as you've thoroughly washed your vegetables too, there's no need to peel them. Now how pretty does this bowl look? I honestly think nasturtium flowers should be added to everything. Now that we've got everything chopped up, go grab yourself a set of scales because we're going to need to measure out how much salt to add. This recipe is a combination of two different types of fermentation methods, and I'll leave a more detailed outline of the method in the description below. But don't worry, it's not that complicated at all. First we're going to massage some salt through the vegetables like a traditional sauerkraut, and then once we've packed it in the jar, we're just going to add a little bit more salty brine to completely cover them, because in this recipe we're not using only cabbage, so we're not going to get as much moisture out of the vegetables. And for this ferment, we're going to work on a 2.5% salt ratio. So to work that out, all you need to do is weigh up your vegetables and multiply that number by 0.025, and that will tell you how many grams of salt you need. So once you've got that number, add it into your vegetable mix and start massaging away. This part could take a little while, so just relax into it and enjoy the process. You just want to make sure that your mixture looks very wilted and you do have at least some moisture coming out of your vegetables. Once you're satisfied that your vegetables are wilted enough, it's time to start packing them into the jar. And I like to start with adding a bay leaf and a few peppercorns in the bottom. You'll want to make sure that everything is firmly packed into your jar at this point. So if you can't fit your hand into the jar, then it might be a good idea to grab something that you can press down with, like a pestle or a muddler, or even a wooden spoon or spatula would work fine too. Now you've got all your vegetables packed in, we just have to make sure that everything is completely submerged in liquid and covered up nicely to help that fermentation process along. So grab some nice clean filtered water and make up a 2.5% salt brine. Just make sure when you do this to measure the weight of the water, not the volume. Now you want to take a nice big edible leaf of some sort and completely cover all of those smaller pieces of vegetables so they don't float throughout the fermentation process. Because anything that's not submerged underneath the liquid has the possibility to spoil. And if you have a glass weight, that's always handy to stick on top too to hold everything down, but not always necessary. And sometimes you can use things like upside down shot glasses to hold everything down. Or in my case, just a smaller glass lid from one of my weck jars. At this point you want to make sure that everything is going to stay completely submerged underneath that liquid. And if you do need to add a little bit more salty brine at this point, that's fine too. Just try and leave about an inch at the top, just so that when everything's growing inside, there's room for expansion and for the gases to escape. Once you're happy that everything is completely submerged, it's time to seal off your jar, label it, and then pop it in a cool, dark place for about 2 weeks. After a few days, you want to just go back and check everything's doing okay. Make sure everything's completely submerged underneath the liquid and give it a little burp. By this I mean just releasing any gases from the jar just by lifting the lid and then putting it back on. And after 2 weeks, your garden kraut should be ready to eat. You'll notice a change in colour and there's not as much moisture in the mix as there once was. This is all perfectly fine and a very normal part of fermenting foods. But if you do ever notice a foul smell or any fuzzies on the top or anything, you will have to discard the whole thing. But this very rarely happens if you've taken all the right steps. The thing I love about making krauts like this is that no batch is ever the same. And over time you'll get to know what vegetables you do and don't like fermented. For instance, with this one, I now know that I'm not the biggest fan of radishes when they're fermented. I do, however, love carrots fermented, and I'll often make a whole jar of fermented carrots, and they're absolutely delicious. So whether you've got a veggie patch or you've just got a crisper that needs a bit of a clean out, why don't you give this kraut a go? And let me know in the comments what are some of your favourite vegetables to ferment. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you have a really beautiful day, and I'll see you again in another video soon. Bye!